My name is Benedict. So thanks so much for joining me here on the AM show. We talk sports, and yesterday we saw matches in the UEFA Champions League. As many as 8 matches were played. We'll show you a highlight of them and also do a preview to matches that will be played later tonight in the UEFA Champions League. We are gradually wrapping up the group stages and see the teams that will make it to the round of 16 of this year's UEFA Champions League. Also here on the local scene, some other stories making rounds we'll tell you, but we have to start here on the local scene because Ghana will face the Pharaohs of Egypt in Cape Coast on November 12th. That's going to be on a Sunday, so next 2 weeks, Sunday in Cape Coast. And it's a match that Coach Kwasi Appiah is expected to use to further assess the development of the team, as Egypt have already secured a sole ticket to Russia from that group. So we're going to give you the full list of players that have made it to Coach Kwasi Appiah's 23-man squad for that game, which will be played at the Cape Coast Stadium. So for the goalkeepers, 3 goalkeepers, the goalkeepers that were named in the last game have been named in this very squad. So we'll have Richard Ofori, who is with Maritzburg in South Africa, and also Joseph Ayew of Indiana Stars, and Lawrence Atizigi of France. So for the defenders, is Aris Nafo of Columbus Crew, Daniel Opare is also in the team, as well as Lumo Agbenyano, and Abbas Mohammed of Harrisburg City in the United States of America is also in the squad, with Nicolas Opoku, who plays his club football for Club Africain, and Kasim Nuhu, young boys in Switzerland, and Daniel Amati of Leicester City. So for the midfielders, Joseph Atama Lawe is in the team, and Mubarak Wakasu is making a return, and this actually is his first call-up to the team since the appointment of Coach Kwasi Appiah as Black Stars coach. And Nasiru Mohammed BK Haken in Sweden, he has received his maiden call-up to the team. There is also Ebenezer Ofori Godfrey Donsa. He's been rewarded following his fine form for Bologna in the Italian Serie A. So he's been rewarded with a call-up by Coach Kwasi Appiah, and Patrick Chumesi of Astana has made a return to the team, with Nana Ampoma also receiving his first call-up. He is based in Belgium. They'll have Christian Achu making a return to the team. The last game he was injured, so he was excluded in the squad. And there is Edwin Jesse. For the forwards, or the attackers, or the strikers, there are 4 players. Rafael Jamina with FC Zurich in Switzerland, or Samoajan Kiseres. For what an amazing form he's been in recent times. In their last league game against Fenerbahce, which ended 3-3, he scored the equalizer for Kiseres. For there is also Majid Waris and Richmond Boachiadum. So that's the 23-man squad for Coach Kwasi Appiah going into that game against Egypt, which is happening, God willing, this 2 weeks, Sunday at the Cape Coast Stadium. So away from that, let's do the UEFA Champions League. And as I noted in my intro, as many as 8 matches were played last night. Manchester United were at Old Trafford to play against Benfica. United won that game by 2-0.
United entertained Benfica on Tuesday night in a Group A UEFA Champions League encounter. United have scored in every single one of their 10 previous meetings, and 13 minutes in were gifted the opportunity to open their account. Anthony Martial was brought down by Douglas Pereira, resulting in a penalty. However, Martial's effort from the spot lacked conviction. Benfica goalkeeper Miles Villa went the right way to preserve the goalless stalemate. United were almost made to rue the miss when Diogo Gonçalves let fly from range. However, David De Gea pulled off a fine save. Romelu Lukaku has come under fire of late as his early season goal scoring has dried up. He had a number of chances but failed to capitalize on any of them. Fortunately, with half-time approaching, Nemanja Matic produced the opener. It came from a bit of good fortune for United though. Matic's shot bouncing off the woodwork onto the back of an outstretched Svila and into the goal. The hosts 1-0 up at half-time. United were living a charmed life though. Devoid of chances of their own, they were forced to soak up plenty of pressure from the visitors. Gonçalves again tested De Gea, but the Spaniard was up to the challenge. He was beaten though by Raul Jimenez after a shocking bit of defence from United. However, the post came to their rescue. Martial had been out of sorts all night. Boss Jose Mourinho's decision to swap him for Marcus Rashford proved to be an inspired one. Rashford was brought down in the area by Andreas Summers, leading to another penalty. This time, Daley Blind stepped up and sent Svila the wrong way. United were quite happy to run down the clock from there as they finished 2-0 victors on the night.
So Manchester United defeated Benfica by 2-0 at Old Trafford last night. Well, Paris Saint-Germain, who can stop them in Europe this season? Well, we wait to see the team that can stop them. Yesterday, they played against Anderlecht at the Parc des Princes and they won by 5-0. Neymar scored and one player scored a hat-trick. We've got highlights of that game for you.
Two teams with contrasting fortunes in the UEFA Champions League clashed on Tuesday as the unbeaten Group B leaders Paris Saint-Germain took on the winless bottom-placed club Anderlecht. As expected, the free-scoring PSG dominated the match. Neymar threatened from the very first minute, while Kylian Mbappe was proving to be a handful for the Belgian champions. However, they managed to keep PSG at bay for almost half an hour. Marco Verratti broke the deadlock with his first goal for the hosts in Europe's elite club competition in 3 years. Anderlecht had little in the way of opportunities, and those they did create were from range and easily dealt with by the PSG keeper, Alphonso Areola. However, it was PSG who had finished the half strongest. Unsurprisingly, their second goal came courtesy of Neymar, the Brazilian bagging his 4th in the Champions League this season and 11th in all games in all competitions since moving from Barcelona. Not long after the restart, PSG had their third. Neymar was again in the thick of things, hitting the post from a free kick, while Levin Kurzawa pounced on the rebound. The left-back again found himself in the right place at the right time 21 minutes later. His header at the far post, PSG's 4th goal of the night. The last meeting between these two teams ended in that scoreline, but PSG were intent on putting in an even better performance. They made it 5 thanks to the French defender, Kurzawa completing his hat-trick. Fortunately for Anderlecht, the goals dried up as PSG had to settle for the 5-0 win.
So Kurzawa with a hat-trick as Paris Saint-Germain defeated Anderlecht by 5-0 at the Parc des Princes yesterday in the UEFA Champions League. Well, Bayern Munich are in fine form, and their manager, Jupp Heynckes, since he came, has ensured that they won all their games. And yesterday was no difference as they played against Celtic in Scotland. They won by 2-1. Also, Roma defeated Chelsea by 3-0 in Rome. We've got highlights of those two matches for you.
Celtic had been outclassed by the two big clubs in their group, losing to PSG 5-0 at home and falling to Bayern Munich in Germany 3-0 the last time the Scots were in European action. Brendan Rodgers' men did have an away victory over Anderlecht to lean on and were looking to reproduce that form when the green and white hoops hosted Bayern. The home team should have taken an early lead, but Stuart Armstrong missed the target, and that error would prove costly.
Oh, Boyata elected to let that go. Coman could be in. Can he keep his feet? Yes, he can. 1-0 Bayern Munich.
25-year-old Armstrong was a constant threat to De Rotten and tested Sven Ulreich early in the second half in the quest for an equaliser. The Scots had been threatening all night and eventually brought their fans to their feet.
No more than they deserve. Callum McGregor with one of the biggest goals of his career.
Parity, though, only lasted 3 minutes.
Alaba's ball in, Javi Martinez, 2-1. They weren't back on level terms for long.
The final whistle at Celtic Park brought heartbreak for home fans as Jupp Heynckes breathed a sigh of relief after his Bayern Munich escaped Scotland with all 3 points.
Chelsea, all in white, get us off and underway then, kicking.
It's them better, Chelsea. Cahill was not always a left-sided player.
And here's Pedro in on goal straight away. Oh, he just stumbled.
Not sure why Pedro didn't get his shot away.
Came very stretched early on. Oh, what an effort and what an absolute belter of a goal.
From Xhaka, Kolarov tried to get the ball in between the two centre-backs there. Comes off the back of Xhaka, but what a strike this is.
Nainggolan. Oh, misjudgment there, and it's in for the second. A horrible misjudgment, and Al Sharawi.
Chelsea dearly. Why he's leaving this ball, Dwight, I do not know.
Yeah, I mean, if you're not sure what...
The hit pass again, this time from Fabregas.
Inside. Oh, it's an absolute screamer again. But Chelsea out in far too much.
We talked about it. Pedro, there's the hit pass from Fabregas. Pedro now playing in the right wing-back position. It's 2v1, dives in, allows Perotti to come in field. But I think the position to go wrong. He becomes quite morose on the side of the field.
Dzeko chased by 3. Does that mean there's a big gap? Of course it does. Perotti! They 3-0 win.
So CSKA Moscow yesterday also defeated Basel by 2-1 with Sporting CP drawing 1-1 with Juventus, and Barcelona went away to Olympiacos and they drew goalless. Tonight we've got matches in the Champions League. Liverpool are up against Maribor. That game will be played at Anfield. Remember, Liverpool defeated Maribor in their first leg by 7 goals to nil. Sevilla, Sparta Moscow as well is happening tonight. They'll have Napoli, Manchester City, Shakhtar Feyenoord and FC Porto will come up against Leipzig, with Borussia Dortmund, Apoel Nicosia and Real Madrid are up against Tottenham Hotspur at the Wembley Stadium, and we understand Harry Kane is fit to play against Real Madrid later tonight. That's how we end sports. I'm Benedict Tosi. Thanks so much for your company. We are back tomorrow with the highlights of matches that will be played later tonight in the UEFA Champions League. Enjoy the rest of the program.